Select quarterback, Alabama, Ty Simpson. That was certainly the biggest shocker of the draft last night. They drafted a quarterback when they wanted one, not when they needed one.
Sounds familiar. Have I heard that in the quarterback rules that have been featured on ESPN.com twice?
No big deal. What did we make of this pick where the reigning MVP, inches away from the Super Bowl, is now joined in a QB room, that of course is Matthew Stafford, joined in a QB room by Ty Simpson?
Well, it's the first time since the merger that a team has the reigning MVP and taking a quarterback in the first round. So the first thing that comes to mind to me is hedging. And for an organization whose moniker once upon a time was Bleep Them Picks, for them to hedge for the future, especially knowing that they're in the heart of their championship window, they were in the Final Four last year, is a little bit surprising. I will say this about Ty Simpson. This might be the second time in the history of the NFL draft where a player at the same position picked 13th overall has more pressure on him than the guy that was the number one pick. This is the second time that that's ever happened in my mind. And so I just think that there's a huge opportunity cost associated with this move for the Rams, because if you don't win a Super Bowl in the twilight of Matthew Stafford's career, then there'll always be the question of what could have been if you had gone a different direction with the 13th overall pick. There is huge pressure on Ty Simpson whenever he's put on the field to instantly produce.
He's Jordan Love. When Aaron Rodgers was upset because instead of getting him a weapon at a certain stage of his career, they went out and planned for the future. There was immediate pressure on Jordan Love to step in and be that guy, to prove the front office right. And Ty Simpson's going to have that at some point. I'm really conflicted on this pick because in the immediacy of it, I was like, that's smart. Matthew Stafford, he's 38. He's entering the last stage of his career. He's still playing at such a high level, and this is a team that's already built to compete for a championship, and they're using this moment to plan for the future. Smart. But then the other part of me is like, but if you know that Matthew Stafford is still playing at an MVP level, why aren't you going all in right now? You've done it already this offseason, shoring up your secondary. You've made moves that tell us that you're ready to win right now. Why not also do that in the draft? But we should have known this was coming. Adam Schefter was telling us this all along. He said that the Rams were interested in Ty Simpson, more so with that 29th pick that they then moved on from with that deal with Kansas City for Trent McDuffie. But in his amazing piece that ESPN.com and in his podcast leading up to the draft, he kept telling us about the Rams' interest in Ty Simpson. But all of us did not think that he was worthy of a pick that high, 13 overall, based on the variance from NFL evaluators about how ready he is at the NFL level.
A couple of things on this. Number one, you stumped me. I didn't want to look it up. Who was the other one? 13-1.
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, the pressure?
Yeah. There's no world that Shedeur Sanders didn't have more pressure on him going into last season than Cam Ward.
Got it. Oh, I thought you meant 13th overall. My bad. Okay.
No.
Now.
Just a quarterback like at the same
right.
position.
Oh, okay. My fault.
Same position. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I don't like this pick. I love this pick. I love it. And here's the thing. When you say the Rams are going all in, can they go all in by drafting 13? Or is all in using 13 to get an established player? Right? Like, I never heard them for Dexter Lawrence. I don't even know if they need Dexter Lawrence now with the Bengals, formerly the Giants.
No, they don't.
Theoretically, to me, that's going all in. Drafting a guy, regardless of position on a rookie scale contract, is not all in. That's like, what they did in the 29th pick, trading it to Kansas City. That's all in. I love this pick so much. You don't have a team if you don't have a quarterback, and you don't have a quarterback if your team's not ready for a quarterback. The Rams are ready for a quarterback, hence why Stafford is what he is. And this young man sitting with Matthew Stafford, and Matthew Stafford knew about this. This was not a surprise to him. Sitting with Matthew Stafford for a couple of years here I think is an absolute home run. What the Rams did last night was phenomenal in my mind, and I don't think that they have any worse chance of winning the Super Bowl this year because of it. And I don't know that I would have sat there and said, wow, if they get any of the players drafted around 13, if all of a sudden they took the offensive lineman from Penn State or the offensive lineman Caden Proctor from Alabama, who was the pick before and after, if they had those guys, they have a much better chance of winning it all. Not for me, no. I absolutely love this pick. This man will not have to play for years to come, and he's going to learn from, right now, the reigning MVP.
Well, we think he won't have to play for years to come. We don't know, right? There's always the health question with Matt Stafford, and then we also have to acknowledge that he's in the last year of his deal. So what happens with the contract negotiations for Matt Stafford? Last time around, it got really contentious. Last offseason, it was a problem. So maybe the Ty Simpson pick is a hedge in a couple of different ways for whenever Matt Stafford walks away, but also if Matt Stafford is asking for more money than the Rams want to pay because of his age. So I do think it's fascinating to see what the timeline is ultimately going to be in terms of when Ty Simpson is going to touch grass.
There's a lot more with what you just said. We need to continue this conversation because there's also the reaction.
Yeah, you love the pick. Did Sean McVay love it?
Well, good one, Smalls, because that is the question moving forward. Who cares if I loved it? The coach, did he love it? We will get to that and what Cece just said about what this means for.
The last 5 months has been such a blessing by God, and I can't thank him enough. I'm just looking forward to get to work, prove at the next level. College was fantastic. I'm so blessed to have that career, but now I step into a great game of the NFL. Look forward to proving and earning it every single day.
You're going to the Las Vegas Raiders. What excites you the most about this opportunity?
What a great organization, great legacy. There's so many great teammates I'm looking forward to talking to, coaches, owners. I'm ecstatic for the opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. God bless.
After David Bailey went 2 to the Jets, Jeremiah came off the board at 3 to the Cardinals, making him the highest drafted running back since Saquon in 2018. Miss me with the too high for running back stuff. He's different. Ran a 4.36 40 at 212 pounds and gives options to the West Coast offense new coach Mike LaFleur is looking to implement.
The first trade of the night came at 6, with the Chiefs trading up 3 spots to get Mansour Delane, the cornerback from LSU, now potentially filling their biggest need. The trade also benefited Cleveland, who took the 9th pick and got number 74 and 148 overall. This is also the second straight year that Cleveland has moved down 91.
Ty Simpson went 13th to the Rams in what may have been the biggest surprise of the evening. It lines L.A. up with their potential successor whenever Matthew Stafford steps aside, something the team made sure to communicate with the current MVP. But before we get to looking too ahead too far, Simpson's just going to get in where he fits in.
Super pumped to, just be a part of a room with him and to learn from him. He's one of the greatest of all time, quarterback wise. And, we watch his, film all the time when I was at Bama, or the stuff they did, the stuff the Rams did and Coach McVay. So the fact that I get to be in a room and soak up all that knowledge is something that, I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Let's make one thing clear. This is Matthew's team. And you get a chance to be able to address, the backup quarterback. We've got Stetson. We've talked about the importance of Jimmy. We're excited to be able to work with him, and I think he's really fortunate to be able to learn from the reigning MVP, a first ballot Hall of Famer, and a guy that shows what it looks like every single day.
Sports Center on the Road is presented by Geico, and with that, we welcome in our Lewis Riddick. I think the biggest surprise for everyone in round 1 was that 13th pick, Ty Simpson to the Rams, the heir apparent now to Matthew Stafford. But this is a team that wants to win now. They have Super Bowl aspirations. Yeah. So how do you feel about what they did?
Look, there's an old adage in team building that says the best time to get a quarterback is when you don't need one. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people who say, well, look, this is a team that was really just a couple plays away from making it to the Super Bowl this year. They have a quarterback right now that they're capable of riding his coattails to a Super Bowl here in 2026 if you just kind of build out the team around him. Why go for Ty Simpson? Well, because like I said, you get quarterbacks when you don't necessarily need them, and I guess they feel as though they can continue to supplement this football team throughout the summer and make it strong enough to where they will still be able to contend. This was something that, quite honestly, Nicole, was tipped off to me months ago, and I had put it on social media about the fact that Ty Simpson believed and knew in his mind, based on the intel that he got, that he was going to go high in this draft. And that the Rams were one of the teams specifically that I was told really, really liked him. I never backed off of that. He never backed off of that. He never backed off of coming here and being one of the guys who's going to be in the green room, although there were many people who thought, oh, my God, it's not going to end very well for him. It's going to be one of these situations where we're sitting there chronicling as he falls down the draft board. Well, he has the last laugh now, and I think it's the perfect marriage. I think he's going to have a great career there.
Okay, so that is what happened, like the middle of the first round. The rest of the way goes with round one officially in the books. Who should be really happy right now?
I think it's the New York Jets because of the fact they got 3 starters. I mean, David Bailey is going to be an instant juice guy for them. It's going to give them instant pass rush off of the edge. Omar Cooper Jr. as a wide receiver is another weapon, along with Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon, that gives their offense now some ability to really push the ball down the field and make explosive plays. We talked about that all night here tonight. We've been talking about it with Jeremiah Love in particular. The desire by offensive coordinators to get players who can win games on one play. Kenyon Sadiq can do that. He's a 4.3 tight end who runs 4.3 in the 40 at 240-something pounds, 230-something pounds. Omar Cooper Jr. just made nothing but big play after big play for Fernando Mendoza when he was with Indiana. So I think for the Jets right now, if you're a Jets fan, you have to be thinking, that's about as good as we can expect right here. You got 3 guys who are going to probably start on day 1, and then that eventually when they get that franchise quarterback in next year's draft, if this coaching staff can put it all together and maybe a little bit of lady luck can kind of like fall their way, the Jets right now, things are looking up, I believe.
Hold on, buddy. It's really dangerous to hope if you're a Jets fan. Can we have a fit check appreciation moment for this man? I know I just stepped out of the light, but that jacket is fire. And wait, what did you tell me earlier? You're like, tomorrow night's even better?
Oh, yeah. Tune in.
We call that a tease in this business.
It'll be impressive.
Thank you,
right.
Louis.